Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talkies. I know my name's Chad. Take a dive on sports. And welcome to week 11 of the NFL. This is going to be my pick and preview video. I'll kind of give you a quick snap as what I did last week and how moving forward, kind of go who I'm going to choose for these upcoming weeks. And some of these are some dandy ones, and it's hard to really pick. Even with the records the way they are, it's still hard to pick winners and losers. But before I dive into all that, if you could, go ahead and smash that thumbs up for me, especially like the content provided. Really appreciate you two guys. Really help put the channel out. You can also subscribe. A lot of you guys review my work, and I love you all for doing that. Not many of you subscribe. And I have a lot of return viewers that don't subscribe. Doesn't cost you a dime. It helps me provide more content value for you. Now, last week, I went 8-6. That's 3 weeks in a row I've had 6 losses, and I don't know, I've kind of gone right down the middle of picking, and it's kind of hard to see how things kind of sway which way or the other. And we've seen teams underperform, still win, underperform and lose. Teams that should be winning, losing. I mean, it's been a flip-flop, upside-down type of season. And you just never know who is going to win, but that's, of course, of any given Sunday, who's going to win. So let's just go ahead and just dive right into this with tonight's matchup, Thursday night matchup on Amazon Prime. Tennessee Titans go up to Lambeau, take on the Green Bay Packers. The Packers finally snapped their 5-game losing streak by running the ball. That's what Green Bay's got to do. They run the ball. It opens up the possibility of Aaron Rodgers actually making catches. Watson became his favorite target last week, catching 3 touchdowns. He has multiple drops, even during that game, beginning of the game, and throughout the season. Now it looks like him and Rodgers are finally in sync. We'll see if that continues on the next week. And continue to see if they can push that running attack. Tennessee limps in there. They didn't look very good against Denver last week, but they still up winning. Derrick Henry, didn't have a very good offensive performance. But he's also almost a 1,000-yard rusher. And that's the thing. If Derrick Henry could get going, that opens up Tennessee's offense. So these are two teams that are looking to establish the run early and often. And it's one of these I don't know who to pick. Because, in hindsight, you should really go after King Henry. Go, okay, he's going to just run over the Packers. The Packers are susceptible to the run. They showed that last week against Dallas, and Dallas went away from it. Tennessee's not much better either. And when they allow, I think it was like 24 points or more, they end up losing, and that's Green Bay's bread and butter. If they score that many points, they end up winning. So, looking at this aspect, I have a hard time really going with anything, but it's Aaron Rodgers. I think he is going to be the factor in this game. Depends on which Aaron you get, depends the outcome, I believe. And for me, I can't really go against him too often. I have a few times here and there. I did last week, and he ended up costing me. But I've had other games where I picked them and they completely laid an egg, like they did in Detroit. So right now, Green Bay's favored by 3. I think it will be a game-winning field goal that puts it in Green Bay's corner. So I will take the Packers by 3. It will be an entertaining matchup. I think it'll be more like that Philadelphia-Houston matchup I had a couple weeks ago, where it's going to be entertaining, close. It's going to come down to the wire. Sunday. Come down Mercedes-Benz Stadium as your hot Atlanta Falcons take on the Windy City Monsters of the Midwest Chicago Bears. Which teams are going to show up? We've shown both teams have put on 2 different styles. And the Bears that have no idea what to do with Justin Fields and just get obliterated. Now you had this version of them that know what to do with Justin Fields. They run the poor man, but he puts up the numbers because it's hard to stop him because he's such an athletic individual. He can run it and he can throw it. They have Atlanta defense that can stop you early but let you come back at the end of the game. And the offense kind of go hit and miss. I mean, these are two teams I think overall are about on the same playing field. I mean, it's almost that level. I think Chicago has the better receivers at the present point in time. You know, Atlanta does have Pittman. He's a better tight end than Kmet. Quarterback-wise, Mariota is more of an arm strength, but Justin Fields is more of the running attack. Cordell Patterson for the Falcons is kind of hit and miss, and the running backs for Chicago is like it's more Justin Fields than the running backs. So this one, another one of these games, you know, who does show up? I mean, you have the Bears team from last week that had the advantage and let the Lions win at their home stadium. We have a team of Atlanta that went into Charlotte, just laid an egg, and let the Panthers pluck them. So it's just one of these things is like which team shows up, and Atlanta is due to reel back in because right now they're on a 2-game slide, so they need to kind of bounce back. And it's one of these that you know the Bears could offer that one, as the Bears have also on a losing streak themselves. They're on a 3-game losing streak. So somebody's going to break their streak. Right now, Atlanta's favored by 3. I'll take the Bears. Matter of fact, I think this is a pick'em game. It's just like the Titans and Packers game. You don't know which version you're going to get. So I'm going to be biased. I'll take the Bears. But, you know, it's one of these games I think can go either direction. Now we head up to Buffalo, where the Bills play host to the Browns. The Bills right now on a 2-game losing streak, and they're no longer number 1 team in the AFC. There's question marks around there. Most of it deals with Josh Allen because he's made some very poor decisions, throwing the ball, trying to force in areas he shouldn't be throwing into. A lot of red zone interceptions. Taking on a Cleveland team with Deshaun Watson not quite able to play yet, but he's starting to practice. But on a side note, weather could be a huge factor in this game. Right now, they have a warning of lake effect snow for those in western New York and anywhere along the Great Lakes. You know what that means. Lots of wind, lots of snow, and freezing, frigid temperatures. They're expecting up to 4 feet of snow. That's a lot of damn snow. So the NFL is working with the local officials and whatnot to determine whether or not it'll be viable for them to play there on Sunday. They're actually waiting until about Friday to make a decision. In other words, they could be in moving the game. I think one theory is them going to Detroit since the Lions are not playing, so they could be able to use that stadium since it's relatively close to both Cleveland and Buffalo. Well, put the game in Toronto. The Bills used to play a game every year in Toronto. Why not? I doubt that would happen. That's just too much logistical issues there. I think Syracuse might be an option, but that's a smaller facility, so it may not work. And it's just right down the road from Buffalo. That's going to be the biggest storyline dealing with this game is where it's going to be played because of all the snow. This is going to be Bills all day long, regardless of where it's played at. They're favored right now by 8. Yeah, that's at least a touchdown game. Then we head to Indianapolis, where the Colts will take on the Eagles, and Jeff Saturday will have his second big game. And the Eagles shown a little bit of a flaw against the Commanders. You pressure Jalen. He's very inaccurate, which is true for pretty much any quarterback, especially Tom Brady. If you rush him in the middle, you fluster him, and you control the game and run the ball. What does Jeff Saturday preach on ESPN? running the football. What did he do last week with Jonathan Taylor? He ran the football. This is what the Colts are going to do. They are going to run Jonathan Taylor. They're going to run those running backs, which would then give time for Matt Ryan to make some decisions. He can still run for his age. Not very far, not very fast, but he's also not one of these quarterbacks who just be a tree in the pocket and expect players to work for him instead of him working with the players to make progress. Interception is going to be the key for Matt Ryan because he has thrown quite a few. He's got sacked quite a bit. That Eagles defense really needs to step up to make plays to try to mitigate the running attack, put pressure on Matt Ryan because they had nothing against Washington. They made a lot of mistakes. They need to clean that up to give them a chance. Right now, Philadelphia's favored by 7. I'm going to go on a limb. This team at home beats one of the best teams in the AFC at home, and no one gave him a shot. I'm giving him a shot against Philadelphia. I will take the Colts. I don't know. It's nothing about Jeff Saturday. I think it's just something about them having one of the best teams coming in that just lights a fire underneath them. They did it to the Chiefs earlier this year and shocked the NFL beating the Chiefs. But I think that this could be one of those weird games that the Colts get those pieces going the right direction, and the Eagles still kind of dealing with the shock of losing to the Commanders. Lose again. But I think it's going to be really, really close, but I will give it to Indianapolis. Then we have to New England, where the Patriots play host to the Jets. Both these teams come off of a bye week, so they're well rested for this huge grudge match between the two AFC East teams. The Jets have a possibility to stay on top of the division. This ability for New England to get more into the thickets of the postseason. Zach Wilson versus Mac Jones. I mean, it's two young quarterbacks that have proven vital to themselves. Stevenson's been a very great running back for the Patriots. The Jets' running game kind of fell off because of injury. Right now, New England's favored by 3, and I will have to agree with that one. I will give it to New England just because of the fact they're playing at Foxborough. There's some injury issues with the Jets, but this will be a nice game to watch, especially if you're an AFC East fan. This is one of these games for you. This will be a very entertaining game. But I will give it to Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Then we got the Rams taking on the Saints down the Big Easy. Last week, the Rams were playing a lot of their backups because of a bunch of injuries. Kupp is gone. He's on the IR. He has a high ankle sprain and requires some surgery. Stafford was out due to concussion protocol. So there's a lot of issues with the Rams right now in terms of injuries. The Saints, that offense is just a big question mark. And they can put up numbers, but they also make a lot of dumb mistakes. And that's really going to cost them. And the Rams defense right now, it's a shell of their former selves. Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey are not being a dynamic duo they have been last year. Maybe because they had Von Miller, they didn't have to be quite as focused in their respective areas as they once were. But having Floyd and Wagner as linebackers now don't really seem to really help the Rams defense. But it's one of these games that, I think it's another one of these games you pick them. And, who's going to step up? Stafford's got to find someone else to throw the ball to. There's no question about that one. And right now the Saints are favored by 3. The Saints offense has to be worried. I don't think that they could be able to do this. They struggled against Pittsburgh. Taking on a slightly better talented team in the Rams, and I will take the Rams to win down in New Orleans. In the old days of the old NFC West, when it was Jim Everett quarterback, both these teams at one point in time. So, but I'll take the Rams down in New Orleans. Now we had the MetLife where the Giants play host to the Lions in a game to see if the G-men can continue their march. Saquon Barkley is doing extremely well right now for the Giants, resurrecting his career, making him feel young again. Daniel Jones is a very efficient quarterback who hasn't really thrown an interception since I think week 3. I mean, it's been amazing that he hasn't done anything like that. He had Jared Goff, who's actually a very decent quarterback himself, slightly better than Daniel Jones. And the Lions have some talent on that team as well. That can actually put them in some games. And they made that comeback from behind victory in Chicago. And right now the Giants are favored by 3. And I will go on the limb once again. I think I'll be doing this quite a bit this week and see if this pays off. I'm taking Detroit. I think they have enough in their defense, not really defense, but enough in their offense to really rattle the Giants. The Giants do not put up a lot of points. And that's, I think, one of the things that's going to hurt them in the long run. You have to score points. I don't think they have yet to go past like 24. So they don't light up the scoreboard. They just battle you to death. They just run the ball continuously and make key plays passing-wise. Detroit is one of these teams who can't do that. Detroit can light up the scoreboard quick, fast, in a hurry. And I think they'll find ways to do that. They'll probably struggle early, as they always do. That's Detroit. But I'll take Detroit sneaking out MetLife with a W. Then we head to Baltimore, where the Ravens play host to the Panthers. I'm not going to talk about this game too much because Ravens are going to just quote, nevermore. Ravens are going to just roll in. Right now, they're favored by 13. I doubt it'll be that much. Probably at least be a 10-point victory, but it's going to be Baltimore all day long. Carolina, it's just not going to have any fun. We head out to H-Town, where the Texans play host to the Commanders, and the Commanders went into Philadelphia and shocked the world. But the Commanders are building a team themselves. They have an identity. They have a purpose. If you saw that locker room speech after the game, you saw how emotional Ron Rivera was and how the team rallied behind that. Heineke's taking this team over. Houston is one of these teams you can't look out of the way either. They have pieces in place. They just can't seem to win games. I mean, nothing against them. I think Houston could be one of these weird aspects as well. Because like I said, last week when they took on the Giants, they were pretty much equal. Even though a lot of people still put the Giants way ahead of them because of the record. But if you look on paper, on the stats and whatnot, they were eerily similar. And with this one, I think the Heineke McLaren connection will continue to work. The running game for the Commanders will continue to work. Washington's favored by 3. Everything's pointing Washington's way. This is where Houston comes in. I think the Texans will find a way to win at home. It's just one of these weird aspects. I think it's just, once again, they're very eerily similar. Very eerily similar in terms of player-wise. But I will give it to Houston to be able to stop a Commander's charge down there and eke out victory. Then we have to Mile High, where the Broncos play host to the Raiders, and the Raiders right now are a team in disarray. They cannot hold on to leads. Their defense just coughs it up. Offense have moments of greatness and then just sputters to mediocrity. Josh McDaniel, I don't think he's a head coach. I really don't. Way this team is performing, and he can't get this ship right. It's just week after week after week. They cough up victories. They have teams beaten and beat them and allow the teams in the jaws of defeat to escape and then knock out the Raiders. They have no identity. They don't know what they're doing. It's just, besides Carr and Adams, that's it for the Raiders. That is it. But the team on the other side is Denver. What identity do they have? Russell Wilson. That is it. That's all Denver is. It all rides on Russ. And it's one of those weird things when it comes to him. Is like, which version of the team you're going to get. You got the one that goes to Nashville and just went offensively inept, only scoring 10 points. I mean, you're not going to win games doing that at all. Or you have the one that went to London and beat up Jacksonville. So, I don't know. It's just one of these things. And also right now, Denver is winless on the road. So certainly they're going to win a road game. But right now, Denver is favored by 3, and I will stick with Denver on this one. It's just an ugly game between these two. Probably not going to be any fun to watch it, but I'll give it to the Broncos. Then a weird aspect, the Cowboys head up to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings had the miraculous comeback win at Buffalo. Dallas had a miraculous collapse in Lambeau. Who's going to win? Minnesota can run, and Dallas has proven they can't stop a run because that's what Green Bay did all day long in their meeting. Minnesota has a 3-headed monster. So is Dallas. If you really look at it, I mean, it's Dak, Zeke, and CD. But can they do that consistently? And that is the question. If you looked at some of the route running CD Lamb did, there was saying that when interceptions Dak threw, CD should went in front of the safety instead of behind him. But if he went behind him, Dak should have threw him over that way. So that one, I mean, you go look at that particular that particular play, that pass, and go, okay, it could have been CD Lamb, he misread the defenders, or it could have been Dak who just misinterpreted what CD was going to do. It's one of those. I think I put it more on Dak because if he saw that CD Lamb broke and he was pretty much open, if he kept just tossed him the ball and let CD Lamb go get it, that would have been a touchdown. But that's beside the point. It's one of these weird games because right now Minnesota's 8-1, having no respect at home because Dallas is favored by 1.5. Minnesota's undefeated at home. They're 8-1. They're number 2 team in the league, and they're the underdogs. It's just one of those things. But no. The Purple People Eaters are going to come up and just skewer the Cowboys. They'll eat out a victory, probably another 3-pointer. But I'm going Minnesota. Then we head to the Steel City, where the Steelers play host to Cincinnati. And as I recorded this, I am making a change. And with this game, it's really hard to determine. Pittsburgh needs to get more victories in their belt to ensure they get 9 wins. So they need 6 victories in the next 8 to ensure Tomlin doesn't have a losing season. I have a lot more hopes for Pittsburgh than that. But Cincinnati, it's just one of these monsters that are starting to gel. And that is scary. Pittsburgh knows them, though. I mean, it's a typical, and they know this team very, very well. They know it's Burrow, it's Mixon, it's Higgins, it's Chase. I mean, there's just so many weapons on that Bengals team. It's hard to really contain them. Do they have the right defensive players in place? Is the offensive line finally being able to keep Burrows upright? It must be because Mixon's been running amok lately. And it's just one of these games going back and forth. Cincinnati right now is favored by 4. Originally, I was going to go with Pittsburgh. As you saw, I was making changes on the fly. And I am going to go with Cincinnati. I don't know. Just nothing on this Pittsburgh team right now scares me. It really doesn't. Kenny Pickett is a bright spot. We'll have to work on that. Get some offensive line help. Give him a target, a deep threat target for him to throw to. Najee Harris is yet to really live up to his selection. I mean, his rookie year was subpar. His sophomore season is even worse. But that all could be because of offensive line. But I'm going to Bengals to win Steel City. Head out to L.A. for a AFC West clash between the Chargers and Chiefs. This should be entertaining for us on Sunday night. Chargers limping there with their issues on their teams, and Khalil Mack should play havoc for Patrick Mahomes. The Mack is back. The Mack attack. I mean, you name it, he is going to be a vital part of Patrick Mahomes, countering Patrick Mahomes, which is hard to do because Patrick has so many targets he throws to, so it's hard to really take away one guy, because when you take away Kelsey, who is his favorite target, by the way, there's like 3 other guys will step up to the plate. This is a divisional game, though. Things change. Different aspects come in. You go in with a different mentality. And right now, Kansas City is favored by 6. I'm taking the Chargers at home. I think the Chargers probably end up sneaking one out against the Chiefs. And it's just one of these weird games, I think, is going to happen. Tends to be what I'm going with right here. A lot of upsets I'm picking, so I'll probably end up for a bad week. That's neither here nor there, but yeah, that's just with it being a divisional game and they're at home, I'm taking the Chargers. Because I went with the Chargers when they went to Kansas City and didn't win, so now they're at home, maybe they win. That's just my thinking on that one. So, well, leave us with the Monday night matchup of the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Arizona Cardinals in Mexico in Estadio Azteca. That's right. The last international games this season is a Monday night showdown of NFC West teams. Teams going in different directions. Kyler Murray didn't play last week because of injuries. But they're taking on a very talented 49ers with McCaffrey, with Kittle, with Jimmy G, Ayuk, Debo. That's an offensive juggernaut. That's just so many pieces, a Swiss Army knife on that offensive side for the Niners. You try to take away one weapon, 2 others. It's like a Hydra. Take off one head, 2 more take its place. And then you have Arizona, which the offense runs through Kyler Murray. I think you've able to disrupt him. You can't really do much. I mean, he has 2 veteran receivers, and A.J. Green and DeAndre Hopkins hasn't really done much. The defense has, the aging superstar J.J. Watt. And I think possibly a Hall of Famer. Maybe that first ballot, but I think he will get the Hall. And just something with Arizona right now is just not jiving. They're not producing what they should. And I think they should probably be a little bit better than what they are right now, because right now they're 4-6. I think they probably should have been at 6-4, maybe 7-3. But this is a talented 49ers team, and I'm taking the 49ers. Right now they're favored by 8. I doubt it'll be that much. I think it'll be more of a 6-point victory, but definitely the 49ers. But there you go. Those are my picks. As you see, I kind of want to limit a few of these games. Maybe things go the way they go. Like the Colts beating the Eagles, had the Eagles lose 2 in a row. But like I said, I didn't have the Eagles win all their games anyways. I was going to have them stubble for a bit. And I think having a lot of the NFC East teams lose helps kind of bring that division down a little bit. But hey, just let me know down below what you think. Do you think I'm completely crazy? I know I'm going on a bunch of limbs here and there trying to determine, who's going to win whatnot. But hey, that's why you gotta make these videos, gotta make these predictions and see if you're clairvoyant enough to make the right call, or you're just lucky. And not really lucky. As you can tell with Moso, my piece of paper here, I think the best I've ever done was like 9 wins. So no, excuse me, I had 11-5 week, 11-5 week, and I doubt I'll see that one ever again. I don't know. Maybe I can stop my. Maybe I could do better. Go back to only 5 losses, which I had that running for like 3 weeks. I don't know. I go in streaks right now on a 6-game losing 6 games a week streak. So see if that changes coming up. But hey, like I said, let me know down below what you think. While you're there, you hit the thumbs up once again. You also share this video with friends and family. It helps promote this channel out. Once you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification. Let you know next time I post any more content on my channel. And I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.